little the width of what he had over there.
It wasn't even wide, is what you're telling me. Isn't it even more heartbreaking?
No, it's the width of that and the
I'm
height
thinking
of
if you're a
this.
dude with a really short one, you should at least have it be fat, right?
It was disappointing on both
All right,
ways.
we're live.
Maybe that's what the science is. All right, welcome to Kilgallon's Pub, everybody. If you're checking out the first time, this is a podcast where I, Chicago comedian Joe Kilgallon, like to sit back, have some drinks with people, recreate that bar conversation we all know and love. Thank you for checking out. We're streaming live on Facebook right now as well, and you're listening to a podcast form, I'm sure. I've got a great guest, Sarah Perry. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We got a lot to talk about, Sarah.
We do.
I am kind of in a funky mood because my Bears lost. I'll rant about that. And I don't fucking with your. I saw those damn eyes, St. Louis fan over here. You guys don't even have a football team anymore.
We don't.
What was that little thing you did with you could get one eye real small
that?
and then that's like a heroin
Did you see
face.
It? Are you close up? Looks like a broken baby doll.
Everyone listening on the audio, just think of like Courtney Love type heroin face.
Thank you so much for comparing me to Courtney Love.
Are you a Courtney Love fan?
No.
Really? Her first couple albums were pretty damn good.
She killed
the
Kurt.
Hole.
What did you say?
She killed Kurt, dude.
That was just.
I've
I
said that
just
before.
read an article about this afternoon. That's so funny that you said that.
She probably did. A lot of evidence. There's a documentary on Netflix called Soaked in Bleach.
Yup.
I think it's really hard. There's a lot of, I know with every one of these like famous deaths, people are like, oh, it's just people you don't want to believe he killed himself, all that stuff. I'm fine with him killing himself. I wish he didn't, of course, because I love the music.
Well,
but
wish granted, because Courtney Love killed him.
yeah, thank you, James Webb. That's our producer, James Webb, everyone. I am at the point where I've read so much about it. It's one of those things. It's like with the Kennedy assassination. Yes, I believe in a conspiracy because there's a million different fucking how many different coincidences have you had in a certain death? Kurt Cobain's death had a million conspiracy elements to it, like the fact that his hand was found on the gun. You blow yourself up with a shotgun, your hand is not going to be on the fucking gun.
Do you know the
like
show
that.
Unsolved Mysteries?
Of course I know.
Just watched one where there was a suicide set up and the guy, yeah, he was on the couch and the gun was in his hand and they were like, that wouldn't fucking happen.
They did an episode on Kurt Cobain.
Really?
Yes, because I remember being a kid and I had to fucking go somewhere, and this was the TiVo days and and DVR. This was like 1997 or
Amazon
something. I was
Prime
like 13. Now. I'm sure it's on there. Is the whole thing on there?
Every episode.
Oh, well, I'm gonna find that episode. But the problem, you mentioned Amazon Prime. I can't even check it until Wednesday because my internet is out. You know what that's like, people? Have you had that? Your internet being out?
My MacBook was out of commission for a couple days.
I did jerk off to my imagination like some kind of caveman. You know what that's like? Just going.
What about
just
your
going to
phone?
thoughts?
Use your fucking phone, dude.
Here's the thing. I got a warning from Sprint the other day that I'm at 90% of my gigabytes. My usage is just out of control.
Use it for one more pump, and then and then once it goes out.
Well, you gotta. You know, I feel like Elaine in the Seinfeld with the sponges. Like what? You know, I gotta really save. Like sometimes you're thinking, I could. You know, when I wanted to masturbate, I was telling James I have NES Classic I got for Christmas. And I'd been fighting level 19 forever. 19 is like the second, 20 is the highest.
What game?
Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. It was bad on my part. Dr. Mario, everyone was like Tetris, but you're killing viruses. You're still matching up the colors and all that. I finally beat level 19 after like 100 attempts.
And you have a son, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was his nap time. I threw the controller in the air and immediately was like, I'm taking care of me right now. Okay. It's 1 o'clock. He's napping. I just beat this fucking level. Finally, I felt so good.
That's what you do in your free time?
No, you know what I normally do?
You don't like fucking nap?
No, here's what I used to. It depends how tired I am. I'll break it down for everybody. For those of you out there who are comedians listening and you think, how could someone be a parent and a comic at the same time? How is it possible? I will tell you it is possible.
Tell me how.
Yes, there's something called work-life balance. This applies to everyone out there, no matter what you're doing in this world. You gotta work smart, not work hard. So what I do, luckily my boy takes good naps. You know, he's almost 2. Mm-hmm. I'll put him down for a nap around noon. He doesn't wake up till 4 sometimes. So I got a nice solid block. But what I do during that block, I got to work on me. I got to work on Joe Kilgallon Inc. You know what I mean? Not just that working on me. Not, you know, that's, yeah, come on. Sarah, I was shifting to a serious point.
Oh, sorry.
You to do the masturbating
I'm still thinking about
thing.
drinking off. Sorry.
That's cool. We'll find out when you do it, at what time of day sparks your interest. And during that time, that's why the internet not being there really hurts, because I email, I try to hit up clubs, I'll cut up clips for the podcast, which I need to apologize to people because this is episode 41. Episode 40 has not been released. I told people episode 40 because I took a break over Christmas and New Year's would be a best of 2018. You know, started the podcast back in March. I maybe have about 15 minutes of that episode. I want to do about an hour of best of clips. You know how fucking hard that is? editing a best of a podcast, 39 episodes I had to choose from. Every episode on average is like an hour and a half. That's like over fucking a lot of hours.
Is my first one? Am I in it?
I don't know. You haven't gotten
whatever. Sure. Yeah.
I'll go back to yours. We talked about your Instagram on that episode. Everyone, you remember Sarah Perry was on episode, I think, like 12 or something like that.
Was that long ago?
I think so. It was over the summer. It was like July.
Yeah, you're right, I guess.
Pretty sure it was.
That was a long time ago.
So what time of day do you masturbate, since we were on the subject?
You know,
this is stuff I talk about with my friends at bars. This is very natural conversation.
So you dudes talk about this?
Hell yeah, we do.
Do you both do it every single day?
I don't have time for that shit.
Okay. Do you do it
I
every day?
used to have time for that shit.
That I don't get that.
I mean,
I don't get that.
Most days. 6 out of 7 days, probably.
Sure.
Didn't we talk about masturbating on the last one? I feel like we did.
Did we? Maybe. I don't know. No, we talked about Brian Morton lost his virginity. Brian Morton's virginity story. I don't think we talked about masturbating.
Because we needed that.
I didn't mean to get into masturbating. I was just annoyed not having the internet. We could talk about more highbrow shit. How about the war? You know, there's a war going on, right? You guys want to talk about the war? I'll talk about the war with you.
The war.
I'm just trying to. I really do need to rant about the Bears at some point. You're not going to want to hear it because I don't believe you're a football. Are you a football fan?
No, sir.
No. Do you like any sports? Did you grow up playing sports?
I played a lot of sports, actually.
Isn't your twin sister a badass athlete?
So was I. I was 4. I was 4 years varsity lacrosse. I was the only freshman.
You look like a lacrosse player.
Because I.
Just see your knee pads and shitty shorts.
Is that a dyke joke?
No, it's just like, it's not a dyke joke. You're not a lesbian. Well, you're bi, though.
Half. I'm a half Z.
You're a half.
But who isn't? You know, you, I guess. No, and then I did field hockey for 9 years or something. And then I played yeah, exactly. And then I played basketball, but I was very bad at basketball. And my twin sister, yes, she's 6 feet tall. She was very good.
And how tall are you?
5'7". So she was always on varsity and I was always on JV, and it was just like.
Does that bum you out that she's that much taller than you, or you just got over it?
I don't want to be tall. She hates being tall.
Really?
Well, because she only
6 feet's cool.
No, because she has to find guys that are taller than her, and it's very hard.
She finds guys that are 6'3". That's cool height.
It's hard, dude. She's very picky too. So like,
guys, do they have to be considerably taller than her? Will she date someone who's the same height?
Yes, she did date a guy that was the same exact height.
So I'm 6'1". Would she? If I were in a world where I'm single, would your sister be into it?
She would find too many things wrong with you. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
She would not because there's a lot of things wrong with you, but like
Jesus
I've literally
Christ.
seen her like look at a guy and be like, oh, he's cute, he's tall. Oh, but and I'm like, what? Like,
what's her name?
Anne. She's listening right now
Anne.
too. She
right.
was listening. I told her to watch.
I don't want to be with you either, Anne. Finding shit wrong with me. She dated one guy since high school for a very long time, for like 5 years, 6 years, whatever. I don't know. Was he a tall drink of water?
No, I mean no.
How tall was he?
Her height.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
she's
tall,
like,
but
she's
not
like,
by her standards.
Yeah, but it's also being a tall woman. You got bigger hands. You have bigger feet. Shoe shopping is It's like her nightmare. It's her nightmare. You know when people come out and they're like, "Hey, we didn't find the size that you wanted, but we found the size 2 size smaller, and not in the shoe that you wanted, but these other shoes that you wanted." And she would just be like, "No, like fuck off." It's just you should always order online.
That happens to me. I've got big feet, so I deal with that sometimes. I just buy shit.
You always find a way to just slip in a brag, don't you?
It's not a brag. I said big feet is a brag.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's the implication, Joe.
It's the implication.
Oh, God, you guys are. That's the maturity on both of your ends. Actually, I wasn't implying anything. Are you fucking?
Way to gaslight us both, dog.
This is
You got big feet too, probably, right?
11.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable feet.
Reasonable.
What's big? What are you?
I'm a 13.
That's big, right?
You know what it is though. Here, I'll give myself some shit now. My toes are really long.
I got
Ew.
They're like half my foot.
I got them French fries, dude.
Dude, I could go up a tree.
Look at these
like
puppies.
Don't show them.
like
Are
a
you going to
chimp.
show them? Can I see them?
Yeah, let's see.
You're in bad feet.
I'll show the folks at home.
Wait,
all right, where James
stop.
Webb is going to show everyone his feet, everyone.
Oh, okay. You have like
then
me,
we'll
where
get
the
into
one
it.
next to the big one is longer than the big one.
Yes.
That's how.
Which means you're super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the second toe?
I can't reach.
I think my second toe's even with the big toe. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. I don't know.
Isn't that?
I gotta check.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head right now with that. We're talking about feet, everybody. This is a podcast right there. You are, Sarah. You came in fucking fired up.
I did.
I don't even know if we could talk about what you want to talk about.
Just
so
don't name names and you're good.
Well, we'll talk about the scenario. Obviously, you're not going to name anyone's name.
No.
Listeners, everyone, if you could,
it was just
if you could give us your opinion, anyone listening live.
I thought you were going to ask me how. I figured you would ask me how. Was this the first podcast of the new year?
This is.
I thought you were going to ask me like how was your New Year. So
no, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay.
Right, but this was on New Year's, so that's why this story was in my head.
But was it a good New Year's?
No, it fucking sucked. That's why the story that I told you. Remember 2 seconds ago?
No, I remember. You know who else I hope had a bad New Year's? Fucking Ann. I hope her New Year's.
You're so butthurt that.
I'm a little upset that your sister doesn't like me.
I never said that she loves Bobby Flay. She's really into cooking.
No, I've got I'm not perfect by her standards, so no, I'm just messing around. I'm sure she's great. Why did I want to
Let's keep going back to her.
Let's keep going back to her because I want to like set her up. No shit. By the way, Anne, how about you just lower your damn standards a little bit? Find yourself some happiness with someone short because
she would never.
What percentage? Okay, James, I said I didn't want you to look anything up. Yeah. Find out what percentage of men are over 6 feet tall because they have to be 6'1" or above or 6 feet or above.
She's 5'11" and a half or something.
So
like
6
that.
feet or above.
6 feet or above.
See what percentage? Because
I
right now
that's a lot. Well.
Look, here's what's annoying though. Not annoying. I don't really give a shit. I got a friend.
She just wants to be. She likes high heels. She wants to be able to wear high heels and not look
Which
like
is
she's
understandable.
babysitting her date. Like that's understandable.
It's understandable. But what if I had this hypothetical with people because I was talking with a friend of mine who's short. You got the number?
Yeah, 14.5%.
So
not a big number.
That's how much.
Well, the average height of a man is 5'9.5".
So only 14% of men on the planet are eligible to her. 14%.
Just sounds small.
Yeah. Very, very, very.
How tall are you?
I'm 6.
Oh, thank God. You?
6'1". I think I'm an inch taller than you. That's fair, right?
Yeah,
I think
fair.
I'm 5'7".
5'7" is a good height.
So
for a woman.
I date a lot of guys that are my height or like an inch or tall.
But would you date men shorter than you?
How shorter? Like an inch, maybe.
Because
I'm not but I wear my combat boots every day. So again, it's like.
Well, buy him a pair then.
Of course you like Nirvana. You're a grunge kid.
Oh
you
my
dress
God.
like a grunge kid.
That was the smartest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
Dog.
Yeah, why doesn't she get some platform shoes for the dudes that she kind of likes?
You're totally right.
Yeah,
I
just
never
raise
thought
them
about
up. Rising tide lifts all boats and dudes. A friend of mine, he's short, and we were talking about how
short?
He's like 5'6". He made a great point once. He said that everywhere you go, you could if you're walking in a bar, right? So you're on your way, your friends are in the back of the bar, but you're making your way through the crowd to see your friends. And you overhear some women saying, ew, I would never date a guy shorter than me. They have to be this tall, blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't think anything of it. You'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever. But then the next group of people you walk by are a bunch of dudes. And they're all like, she has to be at least a full C, preferably a D.
Thank you.
I can't have flat-chested women. Gross. But if you ever heard that, you'd be like, fuck these scumbag guys.
True.
Maybe not you, but the average person would be like, these guys are gross.
True, double
but
standard.
the women are cool.
Absolutely.
That's a double standard.
Absolutely.
I
think it's an even standard. Everyone has their preferences, dog.
Well, then I'm fine with that, but
It's
don't give those
different.
dudes shit. If there's dudes out there who's like, I need this big,
Oh, sure.
but people are like,
Do dudes
fuck
say
you.
that?
I don't know too many dudes.
I don't
who
know
like
if
their
they say
breasts.
it out loud.
Men aren't that into breasts.
anymore.
Women, yeah.
Like, do dudes
women,
even know? Like, do you know
Calm
your? Do
down
you know
with
your
that,
wife's
though.
bra size?
Of course.
Okay.
Women though think that we're. Of course, men are into breast.
I just watched an
what
episode
were you
of
gonna
Curb Your
say, dude?
Enthusiasm, and Larry didn't know his wife's bra size. He had to like look at it, and so I was like, you know, right?
Larry David, who's an idol of mine, looks like a dude who would just struggle taking off her bra, right? Doesn't
I
he
know,
just
but he's so
struggle?
I
He's
love
great.
him.
Even though there's a huge age gap, you'd probably bang him, right?
Oh yeah.
If there was a
I
female
saw
Larry
him.
David, I would be all
My
over
first trip
that.
to LA ever. I sat down in a restaurant. He was right across from me.
Oh man, that's cool.
It was awesome.
That's pretty dope.
Second trip to LA, but it was still very cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in the story.
Yeah.
I'm just being an asshole now. But, look, James gave me a shit when I just said that men aren't that into breasts. Of course we are, but it's not like women think we're more into them than we are.
Well, it's not.
I don't know
it's not
any
the 90s
dude
anymore.
Well,
Now
yeah,
everyone likes ass.
Everyone likes asses, yeah, but I don't know any dude who
Ass
would really
and no
be
bush,
like.
baby. Or is the bush back?
I mean, Bush
As long as it looks
I
hot.
don't mind a bush.
Are you serious?
Bush is coming back.
No
dog.
on the bush.
Thank
You don't want to fuck an adult?
No, dude, come on.
You don't want to have sex with an
that's,
adult
that's
person?
A
You want to fuck a
90s.
kid?
That's a 90s
That's
mentality.
not when people say that. Doesn't
Should they have
make
leg
any
hair too?
sense.
The fuck, man! Like, come
That
on.
doesn't- No, but my sister does not say like those girls in those bars. ew, I'm not good. She's just like, I'd rather date a guy taller than me. She's not like mean about it. You know
That's
what I mean?
fair. I know. I didn't think she was.
But
and,
I have.
if you're listening, I didn't
but
think
I
you
have
were.
heard women say that for sure. Like I don't.
I just think it's kind of on the same
Or I've
plane.
heard I don't want to date a redhead, or I don't want. My sister doesn't like blondes. So she wants like a dark haired. Dark hair and over 6 feet tall is not. That's not a lot.
Do you have a criteria like that?
I have like a dream.
Oh, dude, Anne's talking shit right now.
Is she really?
No, she just said I'm not mean.
Oh, cool.
No.
Anne, I'm sure Anne's the
She's
best, but
not
your sister
mean.
implied that you wouldn't like me.
I didn't imply shit. Yes,
You
she
did.
would not like you. And look at Joe's face. You
That's
would not like
fine.
him.
Joe,
You
look at the
wouldn't.
camera right now.
Look.
That one right there. There you go.
I would have dressed up a little
You're
bit.
an
I don't know.
attractive dude, but you're not her type.
I'm fine with that. I'm married and I have a baby and another one on the way. I was only messing
Oh my
around.
God, you do have another one on the way. I forgot. Congrats.
Thank you.
2 fucking kids. Jam.
I know. I'm fucking I'm a crazy adult right now.
You are.
I'm on some adult shit, as the kids say. Or the kids probably don't say that. But I don't have a type myself. I am a sucker for brown hair and blue eyes.
That's what your wife looks like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that? She'll probably get a kick out of this, I guess. But there's been times throughout the history of us being together where I out and about, you know how guys are, where it's like, oh, she's pretty hot. I'm like, dude, look at that one. She's really hot. My friends will look at me like, dude, she looks exactly like your wife. So that I do have that type, but I don't really think that I do, because I'll watch TV and movies and be like, oh, that actress is pretty, or this one's pretty, but they look nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I do. I know it's rare, but I do know some guys who are like, no, it's gotta be this, and I'm just like, that seems
Yeah, and
boring
those
as
guys
fuck.
are single.
My
yeah,
type
that
is
seems
not.
like eating the same meal every night. That seems boring.
Yeah, I'm not your classic cookie cutter hot guy. I think like weird looking. Like my dream guy, you can Google what he looks like. He's weird looking. He's the lead singer of my favorite band. His name is Brian Sella, Sella. He's not attractive, but like to me, you know what I mean? So all my
Well, because
friends,
he's wildly talented, or at least you think he is.
But I also think he's
Band
hot.
probably sucks.
No, it's amazing.
What's the name of the band?
The Front Bottoms. And
Oh,
so,
I've heard them
yeah,
before,
but
or
like
people
when
talk
I'm
about
out
them.
with my girlfriends or whatever, I'm like, oh my God, I want to fuck that dude. They're like, that dude? I'm like, no, he looks like that guy. And they're like, ew, Sarah, he looks like he sells drugs. He looks like he doesn't call his mom. I'm like, yeah, I want to bang.
He looks like he doesn't call his mom.
That's the kind of guy I like. It's never what my sisters are into. We have very different, like, I think we can all agree on Idris Elba, and that's like the only one. Other than that, you know how that is, right?
Yeah.
Sexiest Man of the Year. You looking him up? Like, he's got a real goofy face, and he's tall, but he has like a beer belly, which like.
He's got a little bit of a gut, I guess.
He's got a little bit of a gut.
He looks young as hell. How old is this dude?
Those are really old pictures of him. He's a little bit older than me. I have had literal dreams where I've fucked this man. Like that's how much I love him. Him and what's his name in 10 Things I Hate About You?
Heath Ledger?
How he looked in that
How he
movie
looked in
though.
that- Not
Yes.
Joker Heath Ledger?
No. 10 Things I Hate About You, Heath Ledger, for sure.
But I get the idea of being into someone based off of like some sort of talent they might have,
Or, like,
a
yeah.
personality trait, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Okay, well,
It's hard for me, and that's why I can't. That's why I'm not in a relationship, because I'm very attracted to bad guys that look like they're bad boys.
dudes who don't call their mom.
But I want them to be nice to
Don't
me, and those
wash.
don't exist. So I'm like, I want the bad boy, but I want him to be nice to me, and they're like, that's not how this works. So that's why I haven't found. You know what I mean? Doesn't like you are a nice guy, and you look like a nice guy. You know?
Well, I don't know about that. Anyway.
Well, whatever. But you don't. You know what I mean? Like it's like.
No, I am a nice guy, but I'm also.
But when
I'd
you
be
see
quick,
like a
I'd be quick to
douchebag
throw
at a
someone
bar,
across the bar, though.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
the
like,
guy,
oh,
yeah.
I bet he treats women nice. Those are the guys I like fall for. It's bad.
Bad boys, huh?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Didn't I have the joke where you posted something on Twitter about look, you and someone else had some like, here's like my type, and I was like, girls, I'm married, for God's sake,
Yeah.
something like that.
Calls his mom, calls her a bitch.
Yeah, I've not been there. My mom,
Sweet as an angel, but
no, I love my mom, but I remember she came to a show when I was just starting out in stand up and like heckled. She was like drunk and like was yelling shit.
verbally
Yeah,
out
she was
loud.
like yelling, yeah. And so while on stage, I told her to shut the fuck up. And I lost the whole audience. Shockingly, they don't like it.
Did
when
you say,
tell your
"Mom, shut the fuck up," or did
They
they?
knew. They knew.
They all knew, and you
yeah,
said,
well, because one of the other comics was like, "This is Joe's mom's first time seeing him do stand up," and so then at that point,
"Oh my god,"
you know. But she's been to a bunch of shows since and been great.
How old
so.
were you?
22, 23.
That's so cute.
23, I think.
Was it an important show, or was it just like?
It was. Every show is important when you're that new.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
You're 24.
Yes.
When will you be 25?
Oh
Are
my
you at least
God,
on your way?
soon. Yeah.
Soon?
Bless you.
I know. Doesn't she
No,
make
I
you feel fucking
feel
old?
older. I'm about to have my 4-year stand-up anniversary.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Soon.
So you started when you were 21.
21.
Okay, go. And you're about to be 25.
I was serving.
Gotcha.
I was serving at Laugh Factory, and I was doing improv and sketch, and I thought I was like the improv sketch girl. And I liked stand-up. Like I liked watch. Like me and my sister would watch Bill Burr and like Nick Swartzen. Those were like our favorite. And Louie C.K. R.I.P. And like we would watch those on Netflix.
R.I.P.
And we would watch those, and like I would like it, and I would like watching it, and I would have this joke. I just found my first joke notebook. Have you ever done that? Have you found your first joke
Oh
notebook?
man, I found
Mine's only like 3 years old, but it's still like gross.
I found a notebook that was dated from like 6 months before I did my first open mic. So I
The
started
fir-
writing jokes before I even went on stage.
The first joke was like something stupid, and then I wrote at the bottom, "Am I right, ladies?"
Oh, you wrote. Oh, shit.
And I was
You
like,
wrote that?
I need to
That's
throw this
fucking
into a
hilarious.
fire. So
Oh, man.
yeah,
I came across a really dumb joke that I wrote. I never told on stage because I think after I wrote it, that was when I was actually writing jokes down. I haven't written a joke down, and I don't even know
see,
how
I would
long.
write it all, but I would just be scared to ever do it, so I just didn't do it. And so I was serving at Laugh Factory, and then I did the open mic while I was serving, and then I kept doing the open mic, and then got booked, and then eventually I couldn't work at the club and do the shows.
It'd be awkward. Although some people do it, like at the Comedy Store in L.A.
You
those
told
guys
me
will
that.
park cars, work the door.
That's
and
crazy.
then-
Isn't like you're supposed to do that.
It's not as it helps a lot of people get
I've-
in the door that way.
But it
because
was
you're really
hard
putting
for
your dues
me
in. Right.
because and a lot of male and female comedians, I won't name their names, but they would like see me as a server forever. And like even a year after I quit the job, they still saw me as the server from Laugh Factory. And one time I showed up to this, and I was on the same lineup as this very large comedian, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, "That's so cute that you're here to watch me do stand-up." And I was like, "Nope, I'm actually going up right before you."
Who is it?
I'm not gonna say.
Has she been on my podcast?
I don't think so. I'll tell you after.
Joe.
But I was like, "Fuck
I'm
you."
dying to know. I can't wait. I'm one of those people that just can't. I'm very impatient.
I'm not gonna say. I don't like starting.
Could you
shit.
cover your mouth and then give me the initials? Come on,
I'm
James,
not doing
man.
that.
Fuck, dude.
I'm
All
not.
right, fine. You don't have
You'll
to do
know
that.
in 20 minutes when we end or whatever. It's
Are we ending in 20 minutes?
I
feel
don't
like
know.
we just started
I'm a
this
really
damn
bad
thing.
I'm a person of time. I don't know. But yeah.
So that's cool though. I also started doing improv and sketch. Maybe that's why my notebook was dated like 6 months before, because I did improv and sketch classes really at Second City before I did stand up. A lot of people don't know that about me. Yeah, I was a Second City.
I knew
dude.
that about you.
I've told you that.
Yeah, we've
right?
had
Are we just redoing the same podcast we did?
No, because
fucking
we had
5
that
months ago?
had that show together. We had to like I was forced to talk to you in the car. For a
Oh
long time.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
She did not want to talk to me in the car either.
It
We
was
drove an hour and a
fine.
half out. She
It
was
was
checking her phone
fine.
every 5 seconds.
Of course I was. I'm in the front seat of a car.
Yeah,
Of course
no, I
I'm
get
checking
it.
my phone.
I get it. You know, you're supposed to kind of entertain the driver a
He
little
even
bit.
said that. He was like, "You're checking your phone," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Which normally I don't bother with, but I was in
I
the
was
middle of a
also
conversation.
entertaining you. Are you kidding me? We had a really nice
No, we did. We had a
conversation
nice
She's
about
conversation.
gonna find
random-
those hot memes if she can't check her phone, dog.
Thank you.
You fucking youngins.
He
You
gets
damn,
it.
you damn youngins. So, oh God, the bad joke that I found in the notebook was about, so stupid. I was making fun of the people who filmed tornadoes.
That's funny.
And it was the whole,
so
the whole
true.
concept.
I've never
was,
thought of that.
Was would you get some fucking cover, get some shelter? We all have seen a tornado before. Why are you risking your life for this? We get it. We know what they look like. That was essentially what it was about. It was about like the person who films it from their window.
Where's the joke part?
That was it. There
Oh.
was no joke part. The joke part was me like.
See, that's what my mom does.
Yeah, it
That's
was
what
just,
my mom and
what's
my
the deal with
siblings
these people?
and my dad does. They're like, I have this amazing joke for you, which I'm sure, you know, if you're a comedian, your family does. I have
Yeah.
a bit for you. I have a joke. But she just gives me like these premises. She's like, I saw Cindy in the grocery store today. And I'm like, yeah, what happened? She goes, I don't know, do something with that. And I'm like, what?
What did Cindy do?
But like, see, that's a great, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, though that's hilarious to people that film tornadoes. But
I
you
think
know.
the idea was just like we get it, but I don't know what the fuck. You know what? When I first started, I was heavily influenced by Seinfeld. A lot of my jokes were I still swore a lot. I was like me meets Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And I remember the first big hit of a joke I had was about the game Simon Says, where I said, "Who is this Simon, and why is he such a demanding prick?" That style is very Seinfeldian. Yeah, and I remember people not know. I remember I brought it up to people later because we were all hanging out at a bar. And everyone's talking about like who their influence was, because a lot of comics you could tell who their influence is when you first see them. Because when you're first starting doing stand up, you don't really know you don't even have your voice. You don't know what you're just doing an impression of what you think stand up's supposed to be. Right. So you could always be like, oh, this person. When I started, everyone sounded like a Hedberg ripoff. Well, yeah, but I didn't know Hedberg really. I knew a couple jokes, but
dude, I remember watching all of you start, and like the bit was, oh, he's just doing blah blah blah. Like Todd Massey was Bill Burr.
But I'll give Massey credit though. Off stage, he sounds like that.
He does, but he didn't. But he had like the exact cadence of Bill Burr. But then he found his voice. Todd's one of the funniest dudes around now. Like
I've been accused of Bill Burr once or twice.
Well, that's because you're fucking
just because angry redhead. You know,
I can see that.
But I definitely don't.
I think that's more of a racist accusation.
I think it kind of is in a sense
but
too.
But it is a stylistic.
You know
one.
that's a nice little segue into this. When I was living in LA. This drunk agent at a...
Can I open this, or is this frozen?
No, go ahead, open it. I don't think it's frozen.
How about you open it?
Should I get some more fucking...
Yeah, for some reason, your fridge or freezer...
It's basically outside.
Motherfucker.
That's what you see why I had him open. Yeah. I'm such a douchebag, sorry.
I just slurped the top of it.
It's foaming, baby.
I don't have cooties, so you're good there.
Got it.
All right, yeah, the beers were like frozen and stuff like that. It's not your fault. It's not going to stop, so I'm going to have to just keep talking while you... Oh, this is great.
Come on, you're in the industry.
Can we tilt the camera so it really is it going to get her? Is she on it?
We're getting her.
This is going to be some fetish for some creep out there.
Yeah, we should probably switch to you. You're on camera.
Women slurping old style.
Oh, it's all foam. It's so gross.
Chicago shit
I'll
I've
get some
seen.
napkins. Hold on.
I don't think I should open it all the way.
No, don't. Let him get some napkins. Let him do that.
This is the beverage you served me at this podcast?
Listen, okay? The pub needed to get restocked into the new year, and that's what we got. We got frozen Miller Lights and frozen old styles. What's your shirt say?
Look what that looks like. Day Drink. It's from Deep Eddy. It's a free shirt from the holiday party.
Oh, Day Drink. You know, I used to have a shirt that said Day Drinker. That's why I was asking.
Oh, God, hurry, James! Hurry!
Oh, no, it's leaking. The old style beer is ruining the table. All right. For the sake of good audio here on the podcast, we can't just describe beer falling off a table. People have seen that.
You're right.
Motherfucker, I can't remember what I was going to say now.
Talent LA. Something.
Oh, yeah, so...
Thank you.
We were at some party. I don't know what the fuck the party was. Doesn't matter. And this dude, who I didn't know had seen me before, was a little drunk, and he said, "How many angry redheads do you think we're gonna have?" Or he's like, "No, I've seen you. You're funny, but like, dude, how many angry redheads are we gonna have?"
Referring to Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, and he said Bill Burr, Louis C.K., and he jokingly said, "You're gonna do one of them to fall from grace." And Louis C.K. has since very much fallen from grace.
Lucky
and now,
you.
actually, I wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit because I have talked to.
What's happening?
It's just a beer. It's just going to keep doing that. You got to keep slurping it. Remember you called me a bitch when I wasn't slurping up mine when it was spilling?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it 100% happened.
A mess.
This is fucking fantastic right now. I'm counting this into a clip. This is going to be the promo for this episode of the podcast. I'll do the play-by-play. Sarah Perry is just slurping this gushing old-style beer. It's slushy beer suds foam. It's everywhere. But what does it taste like? It tastes like a dive bar floor, right?
Yeah.
It's nice, though. I like that. I like that, actually. There's something kitschy about that. It tastes like home.
So you want to talk about Louis C.K.? Oh, let's get into it.
Well, you know why? Because I haven't had a chance to talk to any of my female friends over it.
None?
Well, you know what? The initial thing, but not the latest thing.
What was
Lisa Traeger when she was on the podcast, because she'd worked with Louis C.K. She was on like 8 episodes of that show Harold and Pete that he did. Mm-hmm. They were like friends. So we talked about that whole thing, but I haven't got a chance to talk about it since the latest thing,
which is him coming back.
Yeah, him. Well, he's coming back, but did you hear about? He came back. There's leaked audio. Someone recorded his set.
Oh, and someone said, "Whip out your dick."
No, that's another one. This is there's a different one.
Yeah,
someone heckled him by saying whip out your dick or whatever. Yeah. That was at the Comedy Cellar. But I'll give you what the latest one is. This happened, a week ago, James?
Yeah.
Someone, sneakily, illegally, I should say, recorded his set at Governor's, which is a club in Long Island in New York. And then they uploaded it. And as a comic, that part of it pisses me off. And a lot of people were like, well, fuck, even saying that, there are people who will twist that into you sticking up for him as a person. I'm not sticking up for his actions as a person. But as a comedian, I don't like the idea of anyone recording your shit illegally or without your permission and uploading it, because you should be in 100% control of your intellectual property and what you put out there. And I know this because I had someone do that to one of my sets, where I couldn't even find the person, so I had to just keep flagging it on YouTube, hoping it'd get taken down that way or whatever. Yeah, it was from a horrible angle. The audio sucked on their phone.
Why would somebody take the time to do that?
They started it mid-joke, ended it mid-joke, so half of it makes no sense.
Really
people are just shitty, you know? And I see that all the time. I remember working a comedy bar like 6 years ago, and this woman had her flash on for like 15 minutes of a 30-minute set I was doing there. And eventually I just had to be like, hey, listen, I don't want to be an asshole, but can you please turn your phone off? I see the flash.
You said that while on stage?
Yeah, because I was ignoring it for like almost 10 minutes. And it was annoying because no one at the clubs was smart enough to be like, hey, fucking put your phone away. And then it got awkward because then she started like getting shitty. And then I had to like it was a back and forth. And then everyone around her got shitty. And then the whole set ended up sucking. And then afterwards she was like crying about it. I'm like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. You do something shitty, someone calls you out on it, and instead of just being like, oh, no, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, I didn't know that wasn't a thing, putting the phone away. And it's the equivalent to when you're in traffic and you beep at someone and they go even slower. Oh, you're going to beep at me? Well, fuck you, I'll go even slower. And it's like, no, you're an asshole. Fucking admit it. The beep was there to let you know, hey, wake up. You ever shush someone and then they shush you louder back? Yeah. These are the worst fucking people.
Yeah.
They really are. There's a special class of people who do this shit like that, where you beep, they drive slower, you shush them, they go shh back, and I don't. They should be first to go when concentration camps go nationwide. If that happens, hopefully it doesn't. But like,
well, for them,
I know actually no, they're I just don't understand that mentality, and I think that person has multiplied so much with what's going on right now.
Oh,
like I said,
they weren't bullied as kids. So they don't know how to respond.
No, because there's adults like that. You think those adults? Because I know 50-year-olds.
They weren't bullied. People who were bullied as kids are better people as adults.
I was bullied relentlessly on AIM and Facebook and stuff.
That's so millennial. I'm a millennial too. I don't know why I said like a shithead.
Yeah, dog.
But
not Facebook. AIM though.
AIM. What was your AOL Instant Messenger name?
I'm not gonna say. I had two.
You gotta say.
I had two different ones.
Come on, it's the future.
One was Field Hockey Flirt 94.
But all the ladies like that one.
That's a real thing.
It's right on the nose, dude.
That's a real thing.
God.
And one was Hyper Hottie with like numbers at the end. And this girl like made me like want to kill myself. Like this girl was so fucking mean to me. I can't.
Should we just send you messages?
Oh my God!
Why don't you just block her or X her out?
That's exactly the second I would get home from school, I would see them, and like it got to the point where I was like crying, and like my mom printed out all the messages and like brought them to her mom, and it was this whole thing. And actually, I had two bullies. I had two different bullies. One of them was named Allie, and one of them was named Emily. And I don't even care. And I don't know where Allie is, but Emily has two children now from two different dudes that I know of. So, not saying that that's bad, and not saying that my life's any better, but
someone I went to grade school with has 4 from 4.
Shut up.
And by your age, she had that. Yep, Chicago Public School. What's up?
Yeah,
for grade school.
St. Louis Public School. It was like really fucking like it was like anybody that puts down bullying is like not a big deal. It's like
no, it is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is, and I do want to correct you a little bit on that.
And like your peer is like telling you to kill yourself, or like you're ugly, you're fat, nobody likes whatever it is. Like you believe them, and if you want to block them,
be best people.
Oh fuck that! Is that what's her name's thing?
Melania Trump. Yeah.
What did Michelle Woof?
Wolf.
What did I say?
Wolf.
That's a St. Louis thing.
Yeah.
Is it? You don't pronounce your L's? You said woof.
But I know her name is Wolf.
I
know.
I just wanted to correct you.
I say Wolf.
Like how East Coast people say Warder.
That's how.
Like,
that's some of my relatives.
I like how English people add ER to certain words. Like I love Liam Gallagher,
far.
but like Champagne Supernova.
I know how her name is. That's
all right, fine. Sorry.
But
she, Donald Trump said he was talking about the correspondence center, and he was like, last year Michelle Wolf he was like literally bullying her on Twitter saying she's terrible, never come back.
He blew her up though. She got like 300,000 new followers.
And then she hashtag be best, and it's like, how can you be married to somebody?
She was great on that.
Oh, so good. But like, whatever.
No, me and Joey Villagomez was on the last podcast, everyone. Episode 39. This is 41. Episode 40 will be released as like a lost episode, best of 2018 thing. Ooh. And we talked about bullying at the end, and there's a difference between busting balls and busting chops and giving your friends shit and being a dick to someone you would never hang out with just to make them miserable. And I know what you were saying though. Like,
yeah, I'm not
it's
advocating
not so much
for bullying.
Yes, it's not. It's what it is that I know some people who do advocate for bullying. And I think they're fucking thinking it wrong because they think, oh, well, we gave each other shit. No, you were giving your friends shit.
Yeah,
that's a different fucking thing. And when you're telling kids not to bully, you're basically saying, hey, don't be an asshole. And you should, everyone, like I now that I'm a dad, I do think about this stuff, and I think about what if my son was getting bullied relentlessly, and I think about what I would do in that situation, and I'd probably beat the fuck out of their parents, you know, be like, your kid's bullying my kid. And it's like, oh shit, I'll talk to him. And I'm like, no, actually, give him this. And I fucking give him a quick fucking headbutt.
Because that shit stays with
that's
you,
how
dude.
that's like that'll fuck up some shit. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
I'll knock on the parent's door, and when the father answers, and he's like, unbelievable, and then he says like, hey, what's a shit name? Hey,
Timmy.
Timmy's too much. I want like a bullying name.
Hey, Blade.
Hey, Blade. Or hey, Buzz. Buzz is Buzz Lightyear made me like Buzz, but I'm thinking Buzz from Home Alone. Blade's good. Yo, fuck it. I like that, Sarah. Hey, Blade, get over here. And then Blade comes to the door. What, Dad? Have you been bullying Mr.
What,
Kilgallon's
Dad? I was
son?
jerking off.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Your internet's slow. And so, you know, he's like, you've been bullying this guy's son? And then I wait for Blade to come because I want Blade to be there for it, right? And then he's like, well, and then you know what I do? I grab his dad by the shirt.
Say dick.
No, I would never grab anyone's dick. Unless maybe that's a power move too. Who knows? But I grab him by the fucking shirt and I give him a swift headbutt, real hard. It breaks the bridge of the nose here, so blood comes out. And then when his dad drops to his knees, I grab his dad by the fucking hair and I point to his face and I look and I go, hey, Blade, don't ever fuck with anyone I know again. So you fuck with my son next time I'm fucking your mom in front of you. And my wife would be okay with that because it's like, you know, don't fuck with our kids.
So
it's a power move,
what you're saying is you've never really thought about it, but if this just came to me right now. You psycho.
No,
oh my God.
Hey, you don't do that.
No, I agree.
But then if my son's the bully, I'd be furious.
Then you fuck his mom in front of him, aka your wife.
Oh shit. I got to read a book about parenting. I don't know what to do with that information. None
read
of this
a
seems
book.
Correct. Read a fucking book.
I love when people say that to you when you don't know about something. Read a book on it.
You know, I actually started reading a book because the internet wasn't working, and I'm like, look what I'm doing now. Got me reading. You happy? AT&T, you fucking assholes. Their shit customer service. It was unbelievable. I talked to a human being, and then she's like, I'm going to transfer over to this person. They transfer over to this person, and then they ask me the same fucking questions 8 more times. And I just go, person. I just scream at the robot. I want to talk to a person. I feel like this is where I'm showing my dadness. You know what I mean? I'm bitching about the mail coming late every day.
You've always been like this before children.
I think so, yeah, actually. Yeah. Facebook Memories showed a post I made. It was a picture of my wife and my dog, and it was a beautiful LA day because it was Facebook Memories. So it was back in January of like 2015. You know, palm trees in the background, right? And I said, me and my girls at the dog park. I bring her here to tire her out. My dog likes it too. Yeah. And someone commented, my friend Maggie commented, this is such a fucking dad joke. And I commented, I'm like, yeah, I know. I said it like tongue in cheek. You know, I typed it tongue in cheek, letting, you know, see what's up, right? So Louis C.K.
Do we have any more beer? Or is this it? Because this is ice.
The Miller Lights, hopefully the Miller Lights thought out. They got to have thought out by now. They're right here.
Not to be.
Hold on.
No, dude.
It's safe.
I'll get you something.
Not to be a size queen, or what is it? A beer. What is that?
I mean,
it's definitely not a size
you're
queen.
That too, apparently. But
oh, I'm sorry because I don't enjoy a chapstick in my mouth. A chapstick-sized dick. I'm a size queen. Oh, so God forbid.
This is Chapstick, and Sarah mentioned someone who's.
I've seen many shapes and sizes in my life, and I was telling you, I don't
ruined Chapstick for both James and I for a while.
Fine.
Now, by the way,
I don't think it's fair. Obviously it sucks for men because I was saying
it's not fair to anyone.
You put these on a heater. These beers are still like ice cold. You want to try opening this one? Might be a slushy again.
Here, I'll open it.
But no, okay. So
you? Yeah. No, it sucks for men because you have no choice in the dick that you get. That is the dick that you have for the rest of your life. How badly does that suck? I'm not. Like, but also it could rule. if you have a fucking monster dick. Or a medium-sized dick. Or a micro dick. Like, isn't that crazy that that's the...
Or in between big and medium.
Yeah.
Known as perfect, right? But yeah, no, I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
This beer's
But you also like women.
Yeah.
We got your type for men, which is like dudes who don't call their mom. Is that your type for women too?
Yeah, kind of.
You like a girl who would bang her stepdad? Is that what you're into?
Yeah, I guess it's the same all around. I'm only dating. I'm not dating anybody right now, so I shouldn't say either or. But
what do you see yourself marrying, or is that
probably?
too personal?
I don't know if I want to get married. I want to do everything I can with my career that's humanly possible.
Oh, that's cool. Because 20 minutes ago I was saying you could do both, and now you make me look like a dick.
You're right. I'm sorry. Is this?
Fine, it's for her.
No, you can have it.
You're the
No,
guest.
you can have it.
She's the guest. You can have it. We're not sliding it back and forth. I can take the Jack. Can I get the Jack Daniels?
Yeah, give
Thank
him
you.
the Jack. I don't know if I want to get married.
That's fine. You're young, by the way.
I know.
Don't.
No, I definitely. But also don't.
And if you don't want to get married, that's fine too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand the people who like try to force it on other people.
That's what I'm
saying. It works
saying.
for some people. It doesn't work for other people. I don't get the push. Like I love being married and I love being a dad, but I know it's not for everybody.
I think I'm gonna find the love of my life when I'm like 32. I like feel it.
32 seems like a solid age.
Right?
Sure.
Isn't that?
But also, don't have a goal in mind.
I know I don't, but I just feel like I'm gonna be one of those later in life.
I've met people who are like, I wanted to do this by this age. Excuse me, and do this by that.
I used to be.
I hope that smell didn't come over to you because that was a bad one.
I used to be that way.
I thought it'd be funnier to burp into the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good content.
Like I wanted to do COSK before I was like 6 years in.
You did it.
Did it.
Congratulations.
NYC too, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Such a good room. So fucking
You know,
fun.
I was the second comic in history to do all 3 rooms.
Who was the first?
Not a member. I wasn't a member. What the fuck is that?
Kraken, baby.
Kraken, huh? Is this
That
whiskey?
looks fucking
Black spiced
vile.
rum. I haven't had rum in forever.
Those are cute
All right, I'll have a little rum. I haven't
glasses.
drank
Look
rum.
at that.
I'm drinking rum straight. How about
What?
that?
That old Batman shit? Look at that.
These are probably worth some money.
That's
Can I eBay
cute
these?
as hell.
These are something I would pick up at a garage sale and flip it for profit. You know what I mean?
95.
It's just my little thing.
That's cute.
Batman forever.
That's very cool. You were the first.
I think
that's
that
very
I don't know
cool.
if I might have been the first member, but I was definitely one of the first to do all 3 comedians you should know
Yeah.
rooms. So you guys know if you're in New York or Los Angeles or Chicago, which is the mothership, definitely check out Comedians You Should Know. They're the best independently run shows
show, yeah.
in America. No, that's
Pass me that book.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, look how rude am I?
I get having.
Spill that on your
I get having those goals, but I agree that it's not.
It's just
not
dumb to
very
live your
hel-
life
it-
on
it
some sort of
is.
calendar or
It
some sort of
is.
timeline. Because then what if you don't hit it? Then you think
But
you're a
it
failure.
also-
and then you force it, and then you end up with someone you don't love, and then I just
Oh,
don't.
romantically,
like
absolutely.
people are like, I thought I'd be married by the time I was 25. I thought I'd have
right.
blah blah blah.
Which
I thought
is
it's
insanity.
like
Are you saying that goalposts are bad?
no. I think personal relationship type goals are stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's the only thing.
No,
you shouldn't set
career goals
for.
are
Yeah.
fine because you have some control in that depending
Yeah.
on what line of work you're in.
Okay.
But even, I think
It's
that's
like,
actually,
well,
I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I think that's why I love being a dad so much because I have complete control of whether or not I'm a good dad.
Yeah.
Whereas comedy, you have no control in comedy.
Yep.
I mean, obviously you could work hard and stuff like that, but we know, everyone in this room, every comic knows a comic where they're like, how are they not fucking a household name? And
I
because
can
there's
name
just some stuff
20
that's
of you right now.
there's so many though. Like, you know what I mean? Like Kevin Bozeman, who I've had on this podcast, is a fucking heavyweight. I'd put his best hour against anyone's best hour in the country. You know, I mean, he's got a nice career. I'm sure he's super happy. You know, but like, I just think that someone should be bigger. Nick Vatter's a guy I think should be bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys have all done stuff. They've all, don't get me wrong, they've got
Right.
credits. They headline, but I look at them going, because there's just some stuff that is beyond your control.
Yeah.
You know, what are they looking for? What is it? You know, it's all, there's a certain little industry stuff. Everything's casting.
My theory
Like when they
on-
do Last Comic Standing, they're casting.
Yeah.
They're not going to have 5 straight white dudes in their top fucking 10, even if those 5 did crush it.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I want diversity and representation too, but in some areas it's like,
Well,
no, it should be who's the best, but it's
stand
not
up
like
is
that.
it's
not a meritocracy. It's far from it.
well, it should be though.
Yeah, I mean, which is tough to do with. I hear you, and I would love that, but I think with art, it's hard.
In the real world and like the broader, you know, in America, not like in our little pocket, because we live in a pocket. Let's not kid ourselves. Like Chicago is
prefer
very
bubble.
Sure. Okay. Well,
I'm fucking with you, man. Go
Jesus,
ahead.
Joe. But like when we're, we don't see the whole picture here. We see the end of the funnel that then explodes out into New York and LA. And that's where, diversity like has a role, but the best people, no matter what they look like, still kind of just make it anyway.
Yeah, I definitely.
And that's why it's a meritocracy. It's the most egalitarian meritocracy that exists, because even with like improv and stuff, like you're working with other people. This is you versus everybody.
Yes.
So like if you don't rise to the top, it's your fault because one person is better than you.
I think the cream definitely rises eventually and all that kind of stuff. As long as you put in the work. Because I remember Bill Burr and Jim Norton were on a podcast together, and Jim Norton said a whole thing where it's like, I never got this or whatever. And then Bill Burr said, oh, well, we were always the guys to be like the last to get stuff. And I remember being like, they've done everything. What the fuck are these two on about? I couldn't wrap my head around what they were saying. And then Burr said to Norton, he goes, well, you fucking idiot. And he was giving him shit. He goes, it's casting with this stuff. Yeah. Like, come on. Every year when the Comedy Central Presents came out, back when it was called, is it called Presents again?
I don't know.
It went from Comedy Central Presents to the half hour to the, anyway, though. Yeah. And he goes, every year when they named, back then it was like 10 people a year. Yeah. And whenever they named the 10 half hours that Comedy Central was doing, it was always the same formula. You would have the really urban black guy, the black guy that white people are comfortable with. Yep. You would have the flamboyantly homosexual person, the lesbian, the woman who talks about sex a lot.
Sure.
The like nerdy alt kind of like white guy.
Sure.
Right? Maybe one or two of those.
Sure.
And then he gave another stereotype or two. And then he said, and then the last two spots were for people who should have got it 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
And I remember hearing that going, oh, fuck yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah. Because we've all kind of seen that before. Like, it just, I mean, if you're a comic listening, you got to just accept that. Don't let it bother you. It definitely took me out for a year or so in certain aspects, because you would do these audition sets and be like, okay, well, me or that person were definitely the three best. And I'm not delusional. Other people would come up to me or whoever and say, oh, this person, this person, this person.
Sure.
And then, when you find out who got it 4 months later, it's like, wait, them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing makes me think of like that Arrested Development, but it's not a woman. But
her?
Like, her? We would all be like, them?
Who?
Them?
Ann.
Those people?
Who?
Ann? That is one of the best. That show is so fucking good. I haven't watched the Netflix seasons.
Oh.
I know. Some people said they're not that great.
They're good. It's fine. Have you watched the recut version?
Not that one. No, I haven't.
Watch that.
Okay. I'll get on that.
It'll do it justice for sure.
Yeah, because they recut it, right? Where
to
it's
be
like
sequential instead of individual characters.
Yeah.
I like
the whole.
I like people taking gambles.
I liked the new angle. It was cool. Like, it was cool to watch one person's journey throughout.
But I thought the whole thing. Both. Yeah, I thought the whole thing that made it great is how they interacted with each other.
Yes, there was like a very.
But it is, in my opinion, one of the most brilliant written shows.
Yeah. I remember would definitely be my.
There
top
are
three.
times I watch it for like a third time, and I'm like, I didn't even catch that the first two times.
It was the best at running gags. Yeah. And they had that whole thing where George Michael didn't know how to catch, and it turns out no one in the family knew how to catch. So then they threw. He's like, here's a broom, like catch that, and he would turn around and do the same thing. And then they had like that Charlie Brown, like dun, 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 like every time they were sad, like walking with the sadness. The her gag was like one of my favorite. The first time I ever made a meme was when everyone was doing the I'm with her with Hillary, and I did like a Jason Bateman going her, like with the thing, and I'm like, how the fuck? The problem was like I should have did like a Facebook boost. I don't know. It got like 5 likes
for this episode,
and one Hillary person hated it. It should have gone viral. That was such a good fucking meme.
For this episode, can you use a picture of me with just her?
Is it her?
I'll make it right now.
Hey, is anyone go through the Facebook chat? If anyone's saying anything, let me know what they said. I'll say what's back to them.
Ann is yelling at you for not knowing how to fucking open a beer, Sarah.
Ann Perry.
Shame on you.
At Perry.
It's because it's ice under
cool
here. Like she doesn't.
Yeah, it's not her fault, man.
Yeah.
She's doing her best with what she's got.
Thank you. It's all ice.
Anyone else chiming in?
Or
is just Ann carrying the team?
It's Mark Morrow's talking about TJ Miller and Joe being the first member of something. To be in all the CY's case.
Oh, TJ Miller was the first. That's correct. Martin might have been up there too, to do all 3. Okay. I was trying to think about Lebo probably, but the New York one's great. The Chicago one's great. Louis C.K. Here we go. I wanted to get back to that. No, I wanted to get back because I didn't get like
She's
a real.
Right, I am bad at
I've
this.
gone upstairs like 4 times.
No, there is because there's spilled beer and all sorts of other shows going on. So with that, the reason I wanted to get a female perspective is because like all the guys. I mean, no, every guy I know is basically saying the same shit. Where it's like, I'm more pissed that that recording was out and all that stuff. And people were trashing the material because he had a joke where he gives the Parkland kids some shit. You heard the joke, right?
Yeah.
I've read like the thing. The joke's basically this generation is soft or they're not fun. We were getting fucked up and these kids are like fighting for gun rights and stuff like that. So people kind of took it. Everyone, this is what kills me about this era right now that we're living in. And it's kind of like everyone is now the person where it's like, shh, back even louder. You know, everyone is. Because even if I were to say, you know, I don't like that Louie's recordings went out there. People think, well, you're on Louie's side now. No, I'm not.
No.
Fucking very much not. I'm on the side of the comedian and like I said before, intellectual property and all that stuff. Because I also know as a comedian, Louie doesn't write his jokes on paper. I don't either. Not like I'm comparing myself to him, but there's a lot of us. There's a lot of comedians that just work it out on stage. That's just Kristen Toomey's been on this podcast.
Yeah.
She is even more to an extreme of that example. She doesn't even write a set list down.
Oh,
she
it's
just goes up there
and
stream of consciousness, right? But you know, she's definitely working on.
No, she's incredible.
Yeah, so it's not like she does the set once and you know she's working it out on stage. So, but imagine if someone took one of her sets, put it out there, and was like, "Look at this fucking hacky piece of shit." We would all be like, "No, that's a set that she didn't want released. She was working on." That's what kills me about that. Also, Louie has always kind of done shit like that.
Louie has said the N-word so many times, and people loved it.
They loved it. And now, though, they hate his guts.
Do you know?
And so now none of it's cool.
The most ridiculous thing about this to me is that we are now watching every major news outlet tell us what's funny.
That's it. That kills me.
And first, you know, I don't want to, like, disparage people because of age or whatever, but, like, a lot of them are younger people writing for these outlets now.
No, I always try to click on who's writing, and a lot of it is people who are trying to do stand-up now. There's just a fucking phoniness,
it's also
man.
like,
there's just
why it's interesting to me that a news outlet thinks it can tell us how to view humor in an objective way.
They just want to control the fucking narrative so that you keep going back to them to see what's what.
Well, it's clickbaity, but it's also
do you want to read the comments under their stuff? All
it's
that.
kind of gross.
So Sarah, what say you? I like I mentioned before, I wanted to get a female perspective just because it's all this. No, fuck what he did. I think he's a piece of shit for that matter. I think it is ridiculous that, in the sense of I don't know what he's trying to do with this comeback. Look, we all knew he was going to come back eventually. Was it long enough? Probably not. I don't think he was in timeout or the fuck we're calling it long enough. All that kind of stuff. There's probably more reparations he should be doing in the sense that, like, hey, you know, the women that you fucked over their careers, all this kind of stuff. Although watching that R. Kelly documentary that came out recently makes Louis C.K. look like a fucking angel by comparison. This was a dude. Louis asked, hey, could I jerk off in front of you? They were laughing, so he started to. As soon as they said no, that's the story I read. Right. The New York Times story that came out says as soon as he said no, because some people were like he was standing in front of the door and not letting them out. I didn't read that in any story. No woman said that he stood in front of the door to block it. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am, but the accounts I read.
Same one you did. I read the New York Times one.
Anyway, still bad dude. I think what was really bad about him is the fact that him and his management were like threatening people to keep it on the down low. Don't fucking tell anyone I did this or we'll do this. That's the shittiest part. I mean, obviously jerking off against someone against their own will is shitty in its own right. The fact that they were like, no, don't, and then it stopped, still bad. I'm not sticking up for that. But I think the biggest crime is fucking up other people's livelihoods because of the sick shit you're into.
Right.
I don't know when could he come back. I think eventually. Obviously, Cosby shouldn't be allowed to come back. You rape or murder, you can't come back. You child molest, you can't come back. Is jerking off in front of someone? Do you think he should never be able to do it? Allow it back?
Do that again?
No, I mean obviously he shouldn't jerk off in front of people again. I'm asking.
I think he should be allowed to do it one more time or two.
Well, Sarah Silverman had that weird. Anyway,
I know that thing came out and that really confused me.
Tell people what that was.
That was she was like, he did that. He did it to me a couple times, and a couple times I was into it, and a couple times I was like, no, let's just order a pizza. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, I talked about that in the podcast with Jeremy Peak actually when it happened.
I definitely think he didn't wait long enough. It was what, a couple months?
8 or 9 months,
less
I think.
Than a year.
Less than a year.
But then that raises the question, how long do you have to wait when something like that happens, and where's the rule book and whatever? I mean,
it doesn't.
I would have no. The thing is, like, people are still coming to watch him and see him, you know, and they're loving it, and he's making people laugh. I don't.
Well, I do. I don't want to. I do have to correct you slightly on that. He's been popping in. Still.
Oh, so they're not
but the thing
aware.
Is, they're not. I don't think they're aware. I don't think there's been a show where the club's saying Louis C.K. this Saturday night.
Well, that's kind of fucked up.
But
right?
the thing is, though, the very first time he popped in at the Comedy Cellar, granted that's fucking home base for him. I think 150 is a sellout there. He got a standing ovation. One person did complain, but the other 149 loved it.
Right.
Because again, like you mentioned, we live in a pocket, a bubble, whatever word you want to use.
The lowest common denominator.
The average person doesn't give a shit,
because, right? They don't live like we live in an extremely liberal bubble.
But we also live in an extremely connected. What's going on today? The average person is not on Twitter every fucking day looking to be angry.
What do they have to do what?
What do they have to do for them to stop giving them standing ovations or stop going or walking
out on them? He has to stop being funny.
So he could
wherever he goes,
he could rape somebody and they would still laugh.
Or he could commit a terrible.
Well,
terrible crime.
R. Kelly. Look, the fucked up thing with the R. Kelly shit, and that guy's fucking the worst. We knew he was a scumbag. There was a video of him peeing on a 14-year-old girl 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it was funny, and it was a joke, and everyone joked about it.
Dave Chappelle made his career on that joke, dude.
That's true.
Yeah, he had a whole thing making fun of it.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly's still been consistently selling out since then. Yeah, he took a little bit of a hit, but it's consistently selling out. But now that this documentary is out, he's done.
I hope so.
He should be done, right? Like, done sounds funny. But, like, you know, I mean, so if Louis C.K. raped someone, yes, I would hope to God he'd be in jail.
Yeah. No doubt.
And I know a lot of rapists don't go to jail, and that's a fucked up thing. And I know women don't want to relive it, and I know it's really hard. And I just wish we could make an environment in which women were comfortable being like, no, that piece of shit did this to me. Let's all fucking get him. Right. And then, yes, let's all fucking get him.
My point in saying,
fucking throw away the key and all that shit.
My point in saying that is I think that he could do way worse than what he had done, and people would still be given. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know if it'd be that bad.
You're
but
right.
I don't know.
You might know. I don't think you're wrong.
That's
but
the thing.
Like,
it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what we think about what happened, or did he come back too soon, or whatever. Like, the fact is, he's popping into these places, and people are giving him standing ovations. Like, that's happening.
Yeah, that's
so.
Fucked
It's
up.
like
that's fucked up.
So obviously, regular people don't care.
If Bill Cosby got out of jail early for whatever weird reason, which he's not,
I don't think many people would be giving him standing ovations.
No, I don't think Cosby makes a comeback because he raped 30 women.
So there's somewhere.
There is a line.
No, there's
but it's
definitely
fucked up that the line
balance.
is 30 women.
Yeah.
If it were 3, it's
I'm
sad
pretty sure
to
the
say,
line is one woman.
I would hope to God, but who knows?
Like,
I'm pretty sure it's one woman.
Well, when it happens.
But Derrick Rose has the whole thing, and everyone's rooting for Derrick Rose.
That's the other thing. Like, you think that that's all he did? You know what I mean? Or do you think that's just all that's come out?
If
you think a creep like him only
I think if he had done more, it definitely would be out by now.
You think?
I think it definitely.
It's been a long time.
So he's just a creepy likes to masturbate in front of women.
Well, he always
that's his thing.
Probably.
He doesn't want to stick it anywhere. He doesn't want to slap you with his penis.
Look, I'm not Louis' pants. I don't know what's going on.
I heard initially.
Doesn't that make you like wonder? Like, if there's nothing else that came out, then that's all he did. Isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that weird?
Fetishes.
He's a comedian. Comedians are weird, dude.
You're into people who don't want to call their mom. Some people might find
that
fucking
weird.
Hey,
don't bring me into this, buddy.
It's Louie and then Sarah Perry.
People that don't want to call their mom. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Is that what you said?
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Actually, I'm pretty sure. All right.
I'm ready.
No, of course. Like, someone told me originally that Louie was first asking women if I could just jerk off in front of him because he was married at the time and he didn't consider that cheating. He thought that wasn't cheating. It's not technically. And he got, like, I don't know.
I've heard shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. But, like, again, his character isn't in question right now. He's a bad dude. He's a piece of shit. It's just, like, stop. Every time something happens with him, it trends for 2 fucking days.
True.
Inevitably, the creepy people are going to come out and be like, well, I fucking do creepy shit. I need to have his back now. And then it's almost creating this audience for him. I really do think that's where liberals, to me, aren't cool anymore. When I was coming, I mean, obviously, there's always been the oversensitive side to them. But liberals were always more punk rock in the sense where it's like, hey, conservatives would bitch about things. Conservatives were the ones that were more like, we can't show that on TV.
Well, conservatives had the church back then.
Yeah, and they still do. But conservatives, for the most part, would be the ones who'd be like, you can't show that on TV. I don't want to see this smut.
Right.
And liberals would be like, change the fucking channel if you don't like it.
Yeah.
What happened? How come liberals don't change the channel anymore?
Well, because back then it wasn't out in the open that people were getting fucking sexually assaulted.
No, but you take away the sexual assault. It's every little fucking thing that
now
bothers
it is
someone.
every little thing.
Because this isn't about Louis' sexual assault. It's about Louis' material now. The material of like him being
people just
maybe
want
transphobic in the
attack.
joke. I didn't hear the whole joke. Yeah, but it's like we have enough people to
Dave
attack,
Chappelle
and
was
it's not healthy to be
in his
wanting
Netflix special, and it was a great special.
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna do, man? People tell
No,
jokes
I'm not
that people
upset.
don't
I'm
like.
not upset about that. And again, like with the whole PC thing, someone made a good point where it's like it might have been Roy Wood Jr. saying, as long as there's the market, it's not killing anything. People say comedy's being killed right now, but comedy's Netflix,
booming,
I feel like it's booming overall right now. Who knows if a bust is coming because bubbles always burst. Unfortunately,
it's
that's what happened in the '80s.
It might not be coming actually.
It might
Netflix
not be because there's
keeps
just
putting
so
out
much
quality
content.
shows, dude.
Is it quality?
Yes. The way they're produced is very good.
Is it? I would hope so. But you got to also remember, you're looking at it from your fucking eyes, James.
Yeah,
I'm the huge comedy fan.
Yeah, I'm also not a comedian. I'm the audience
I know you're
dog.
not. I know you're not. But you're rare, man. The average person doesn't watch comedy. They don't. I wish they did.
They watch it enough for it to be a major announcement on Netflix.
Well, I've read that initially a lot of this was Netflix just kind of investing in people. We'll give you we'll give you a 15-minute set, half-hour set, and I'm not knocking the people who got it. I would gladly want one, and a lot of my great friends have gotten them. So I'm hoping. I want every comedy show on the planet to sell out, even at clubs I fucking despise.
Right.
I do believe the rising tide lifts all boats. What's good for comedy is good for all comedians, and I'm rooting for everybody. If you're a comedian, by that alone, I like you.
Yeah.
Because you're doing what I want to do. So why wouldn't I love you? You know what I mean? I kind of look at it from that point of view.
Yeah.
Unless you're a piece of shit who doesn't respect and all that. But I'm saying at the face value, I do comedy. I go, cool, I'm interested in you. I'm rooting for you. Good for you. All that kind of stuff. The thing I worry about, or not worry about, but the thing I suspect with some of this stuff is you don't know Netflix's numbers. We have no idea.
No, they don't tell you.
They don't really tell you.
It was a big deal when they talked about Bird Box's numbers.
Yeah, because those numbers were fucking insane.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, we got to brag about this, right? Especially start of a new quarter, business year, that kind of thing. That's investors.
Dad.
No, I mean, that's just fucking, that's just how it works. But it's so cheap for them to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fucking cheap for them to even a comic who's on the rise to be like, hey, you want to do an hour, half hour, here's $100,000. And then the total of what it is like fucking less than to do one episode of television. It's like $4 or $5 million.
Yeah.
To do one half hour episode, maybe about $5 million.
Sure.
To do fucking a whole 1 hour special, even the top people because you're paying them so much.
Yeah.
But it's just not a lot. It's just not a lot of money.
Yeah,
like,
you could probably get one of those done for $20,000 if you're really stingy with your money.
You could have. I remember Morgan Murphy had this great special that they shot at Nerd Melt in L.A. Like 4 or 5 years ago.
That probably cost like $5,000.
It probably did.
Less.
I mean, besides the talent pay, all that other shit was really cheap. Yeah. All right, anyway, we're getting weird with this stuff.
Jesus Christ.
But no, here's my thing with PC. I don't know. Let's actually, me and James are talking way too much.
I'm sorry.
Sarah, what is your thoughts when everyone talks about PC's killing this, PC's killing that, blah, 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 blah?
What do you mean?
Like, when you hear people bitch about PC culture ruining comedy, what goes through your head on that?
I don't think that.
Does that really stump you on this one?
Yeah, no, I was zoning out because you guys were talking for so long.
It's our fault.
It is your fault. You guys were going on forever. Who's saying that it's? It's
just like, I don't know. I think I try not to care because I know it's just bullshit rationale. I feel like the beer got colder.
Yeah,
does it not feel like this shit's gotten colder?
Like
what is going on in this room? Anyhow, it's just one of those things where, so with the whole Louie shit, right away when I first heard the bit, I go, well, it's a Stanhope joke. It's kind of ripping off a Stanhope joke.
Which bit?
The joke about this generation being weak. He then pivoted towards using the Parkland as an example. Who knows if that's going to stick? Because he's clearly working on something, Louie. He's going to have a special at the end of the year that'll probably self-produce himself. Anyway, which, again, you can't fault if you're out there and you're like,
well, it's all different now. It's all different now. You can't say this. You can't say that. You have to use correct pronouns. Like if I were to have said that to like my grandparent, if I would have been like, hey, actually, I'm going by they, them, they would be like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not. So like it's very sensitive and very different, and then it's like, well, it's still comedy. So like it's kind of like what James said. It's like everybody is gonna joke or like a joke, and then it's like, where's the line? And it's just so stupid. Ricky Gervais had like an amazing tweet about it recently, actually. I wish I could remember it. It was amazing.
I'll find it.
It was viral.
You'll find it?
Yeah,
Can you find it,
It
James?
was like it was like if you get offended by a it was so I can't. I'm not even gonna try. But like
I saw one of that went viral that I agreed with. It's just I think it's people are having the wrong argument with certain stuff. Andy Richter had a big thing about PC comedy or PC culture not killing comedy.
I saw that.
I'm for people evolving and advancing. Like when I hear someone use the word retard, it does make me go, "Ooh, what the dude? Who fucking says that still? What's wrong with you?" Like I do have
It's a bit out of season.
Yeah, I have like a little bit of something tickles my brain where I'm like, don't use that word. Come on, man. You know.
The only time I'm offended by a comedian is when they apologize. Is that the one? By Ricky Gervais?
No, it's pretty recent. This is like
It's a
3 or 4 days ago. This happened.
Okay.
If you go to his Twitter and then scroll, you'll probably see one that's got like 1 million fucking retweets or whatever. Anyhow, though, so what? I think people are having the wrong argument. I think PC culture could potentially. I think it hurts comedy in this sense, and it does hurt in this sense, where it affects audiences from being weird about laughing. Audiences, I've seen audiences at certain shows go into the show with their arms crossed. I know that's cliched to say, but they kind of have this. All right, let's see what you got, and they're looking to be offended. I've seen comics crushing, and then they say one word, but they're not even saying anything bad. But it's a sensitive topic, and they just get fucking real silent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they'll go up there, be killing it, and then they'll bring up a race, but they're not even saying anything bad. And the audience, I think it's on the audience's end. I'm cool with the fact that we're now not using gay slurs and slurs against the mentally challenged, and people are being more aware of. Hey, you want to be called they them? Awesome. Anyone to be upset about that's a dick.
But some people do get upset about it because they don't understand it, or they don't want to understand it.
I mean, some people need to be educated, right? And then some people can't be educated, and then fuck them. Change the channel. You know what I mean? Like, don't let those. If you go by they them, and there are people who are like fuck them and call you he, she, or her, whatever. Fucking erase those people. Don't let them fucking bring you down, right? I don't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some. You want to be like, no, fuck you, respect me, of course. But there are some people who just aren't worth your time. Sure. There are some people that you could be like, well, listen, let me explain why I do this, and then they go, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I didn't know. I've had to explain them to some older people because I've referred to it where I remember saying once, oh, I'm gonna go meet a friend of mine for lunch. She wants to go meet. Whoops, sorry, they want to go meet over here, and they were like, wait, what? And then I'd explain the whole thing, and they were like, oh, well, that takes some getting used to. I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah.
No, it depends. It's not. I don't think
it's weird to say they them.
I don't think it's
that.
the topic. I think it's how you. It's how you approach the topic. It's your opinion on the topic. So like, David Spade had a joke very recently at a show, and my friend went to it down in Florida, and he was talking about Caitlyn Jenner, and which is sensitive for people.
Sure.
Triggering.
I'll say this though, Caitlyn Jenner is a fucking dick. She is. I'll say
she killed somebody.
She killed someone. She fucking is against gay rights, which is weird.
Insanity. Did you watch that with Ellen? When Ellen was like, so you don't believe that gays should get married? And it was so funny.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
She doesn't believe gays should get married.
No, I've heard comics say that joke. Like, she is a she, but he should be arrested because he murdered somebody, whatever. But this joke in particular was about how David Spade was like, he's like 60 something years old. Like, shouldn't his name be like, Ruth or something?
That's fucking
like,
hilarious. That's hilarious.
But like, but
did he get in trouble for calling him he?
No. I don't even know if he did. He probably said her. I don't know. Oh. But my point is, it worked. And I'm sure for half the people, they were like, "Can we laugh?"
Yes.
And half the people were like, "Yes, we can." You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not.
That part of it
different if he was like, fuck transgender. You know what I mean?
But people kind of go into it thinking that you are that way.
They just listen
You're an
to what they're talking about. Yeah.
It used to be, oh, you're cool until proven otherwise. Now I think everyone's an asshole until proven otherwise, which maybe is a better life strategy.
It's not.
I don't think so. I would hope not. I'm just floating it, but it's
hard to not think that. It really is.
I know, because I hear so many bad stories about people.
That's the simplest way. Get off Facebook.
Are you on Facebook?
Not as much as I've used to be. No,
that's just good advice for everybody because you definitely see
social media
Facebook
is cancer.
It purposely shows you the. Oh my God,
Joseph.
This beer.
How have you not learned?
Everywhere. I thought I tapped it. I thought I had enough at that point.
Okay,
I'm
tapping
fucking up your rug, dude.
Nothing
I don't know
in science proves that tapping does anything.
Tapping on a fucking can of pop before it goes
Soda.
berserko. Berserko.
Thank you, soda.
Soda.
It's not soda.
It is.
You don't call it soda, do you, James?
Too?
I'm from St. Louis.
Oh, okay, well, shit.
Wait, didn't you say something about my
That's west enough.
thing earlier?
Yeah, but I'm fucking high.
How'd you know that I was from St. Louis earlier?
Because you said you were from St. Louis earlier.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been doing this for an hour and 13 minutes.
I know. I
though.
feel like I've been here for 3 years.
How long have we been here? Hour and how long?
Hour 13.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
That's what she said.
That's a good one. All right, I like that.
Thanks.
What was I just talking about? Again, spilled beer and it ruined everything. No, it was with Facebook and all that shit. Obviously,
Yeah. This is getting on all that technical stuff.
Oh fuck! Oh my God! No! James, you should be like freaking out right now. Fuck me.
Hold on. It's okay. Go.
Sarah, keep talking.
Well,
Sit in your chair.
everything's fine.
It's fine.
Ruin these matches.
Nothing spilled.
We're good. Nothing expensive is happening. Sit down and talk. It's your podcast. You're live.
All right, sorry.
Aw,
I'm gonna have to edit
so
this part,
nice.
everyone. So the beer started spilling and it was going towards the cords, and
Oh my God!
Sarah, you were just very like, oh, this is getting like toward
Well,
the
because
technical
you
stuff.
weren't freaking out.
Well, because I didn't see it.
So
didn't
I was
fucking
like,
notice.
oh, why are... Okay.
Damn. All right. I'll just summarize the PC culture by saying, as an audience,
Yeah, I got to get back to the slopes. So.
Jesus, I know. Yeah, you do. You look like a fucking. You just got done snowboarding and fucking a fat instructor.
So what if I did, man?
No, it's fine. You know,
Fat shaming right now?
I'm not fat
Yeah,
shaming.
are you?
Fuck you.
I love fat people.
Yeah, what the hell? Tomorrow on Twitter, Joe Kilgallon fat shames.
Although I do agree with some people about the whole idea of like, be proud of your body. But if you're like a couple 100 pounds overweight, you should probably look into not being that because of health reasons. It's a fucking health issue at that point.
If you're gonna
we
die,
shame people into stop. If you're smoking, everyone's like, "Quit fucking smoking! You're killing yourself."
Oh, body shaming is great.
And then it's just
You're
like
saving lives, dude.
you're supposed to be like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Dude, I body shamed myself into losing 50 pounds. So, yeah.
Did you? That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
It works.
whatever
Body
motivates
shaming
you.
works.
Whatever fucking.
And now I'm not
motivates
going to die when I'm 50. I'll die when I'm 60.
No, but definitely be
Nice.
happy in your body because when people are confident, that's,
love yourself,
That's
but no, you can
a
do better.
sexy trait. Yeah, for sure, man. Right? All right. I feel like I've lost all the steam in this stupid ass fucking Louis C.K. shit. To summarize,
PC culture
he's a
is
bad guy. PC culture is fine, I guess, but I think comedians should still fucking say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Push the envelope, and if people don't like it, like I said before, change the fucking channel.
you definitely can't do it as much as you could do
No,
it
I
back
mean,
then.
but you can do whatever you want. How people respond to it is on their own regard. And if comedy clubs are saying we don't want to book you because you say shit that alienates our audience, then that's their prerogative and they're in their right to fucking do that. Just know if you're a comedian who likes to say the worst shit on purpose, it's gonna be a little tougher for you.
Yeah.
Just fucking know that. I think you could say whatever you want, but of course there's consequences. What kills me though is I do think that the argument about that's it, punching up versus punching down. I think people making fun of straight white guys, people will say is punching up. To me, it's so overplayed. It's not punching at all.
Dude, it's hack.
You're just
to make fun of straight
hack.
white guys now.
It's fucking hack.
Everyone's doing it.
And there's a whole little group of people that are just like so nice to each other. I'll give Tim Dillon a shout out. Like he needs it because he's killing it. And fucking, and I feel like every time I look at one of his tweets, he's got a shitload of tweets or retweets. But he deserves it. He's on point with a lot of his thoughts. Is that there's like this community of people who I think are mediocre, but because they build themselves up, they've risen.
Sure.
And they're always the quick. If you notice, when you guys do go on social media, there's always the same people who are the first to comment on shit, the first to want to like fucking throw people under the bus, the first to want to be holier than thou. Fuck those people. Keep your I think people go, and it reminds me of the people who are giving their poor kicker shit. The Bears lost by. I wanted to get to it. This is how I'm gonna end. It's a pair. You probably have nothing to add to this, or you could fucking add to it if you want. The Bears lost their playoff game by a missed fucking field goal by Cody Parkey, and yeah, I'm upset about it. But then I've had a day to cool off.
Was it an important game?
Yes, it was playoffs.
Are they out now?
Yes.
Oh.
Win or go home. One and done.
Now I get it.
I don't want football.
You don't?
No.
That's hot. That's hot of you.
Thanks, man.
You're ugly.
All right. That's what Ann has a problem with me with. It was just like, now that I've had time to cool off, I was devastated. I just got mad right away because everyone's like, fucking kicker, we said this guy sucked. I knew he'd blow it. Yeah, the guy had a bad year. I hate when people act like they're the genius. Oh, you mean the guy that struggled all year? You predicted him fucking up when it mattered? Everybody said that. You're not ahead of the game with
My
that shit.
ex-boyfriend had
If you called that back before the season started, then yeah, I give you credit.
My ex-boyfriend was really into football. He had a tweet and he was like, isn't it fucked up that we get to the point in a game where it relies on this one person?
That's my point.
Yeah.
The Bears defense didn't stop them. The fucking Eagles marched 80 yards. So everyone look, the Bears defense is amazing, but it makes me think, and when it mattered most, they didn't fucking come through either. The offense then scored last with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They didn't add much more to that. They only scored one touchdown the whole fucking game. There's a lot of blame to go around. The coach was way too fucking conservative through most of the game. It's just too easy to blame the kicker.
Did you hear the recent update that they changed the call to a block instead of a missed field goal?
Oh yeah, because he got a tip.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
But some people will say it's still the kicker's fault because you're supposed to be able to get it high enough where they can't block it.
But it's
unless
not
it's
as
a
much
full
his
block.
fault now.
It's not as much his fault. Yeah, I'll say it's not as much his
Yeah.
fault. Sure. The fact that it still hit the post shows you he had the boot. It's a mental case. This dude.
saw the funniest meme and it was a Chicago kicker. But the Chicago kicker was Sandra Bullock from Bird Box.
That was a good one.
Bird Box memes are amazing.
Yeah, the Bird Box memes are the new Jordan crying eye.
Fuck.
Which someone did a bear, but they replaced it with Jordan's eyes and a tear. The crying Jordan meme just will not die. That's how
Why was he crying in the first
He was
place?
crying during his Hall of Fame thing, and then people just captured that and put it everywhere. It started when North Carolina blew it in a game because he went to North Carolina and they did the crying Jordan meme, and then it just spread like wildfire. Where anytime there's a fuck up or someone loses, they put the crying Jordan meme on that person's
that's my
city or logo.
That's my ugly Christmas sweater.
Is the crying Jordan
Yeah.
meme?
I have two.
That's a good
I have
one.
two of
It's a
them. Do you
very
want
good
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What if I wanted it?
Do you want it?
Oh, she doesn't know who fucking Michael Jordan is, man. Come on. I didn't mean it like that, but yeah, it's with kickers. It's a heartbreaking position because I almost think get rid of it. I know if you get rid of kickers, why is it called football? Rename it smash ball. Get rid of the fucking kickers. No one fucking you know what I mean? Nobody wants to watch someone kick. My cousin made a great point in this text to everyone where it's like the kickers don't get hurt in practice. They never get hurt in games. They have it so easy. All they do is practice moving their damn foot. And all these guys fucking the one dude on the fucking someone their leg is gone. It was such a bad injury. It looked like their bones were just like their sock was just containing a bunch of foot bones. That's how badly it twisted. Hearns on Dallas. I remember. So these kickers don't go through any of that, and then the whole season comes down on them, and they fuck it up. And all these guys are like, "Oh, I poured my blood, sweat, and tears literally on this field, and you can't make a 43-yarder, which is not that hard for kickers. For regular people, yeah, it's fucking hard if you're listening. Going, let's see you do it. I hate those people too. Going, let's see you do it. No, I don't need to. You don't need to see me do it. He gets paid 7 figures to fucking do it. Look at this shit. Oh, I got it backwards.
Oh,
look at that, everyone.
My
crying
God.
Jordan.
What?
Fucking sweater. I cannot.
It's yours, bud.
So nice of you, dude. Oh fuck
Why
yeah.
do you have two?
Because the
I've
fucking
needed one of
company
these for a
sent me
long
two on
time.
accident.
I've needed one of these for a long ass time.
Get it out of my house.
Appreciate that. Like an ugly sweater. I don't have an ugly Christmas sweater because anytime I put on an ugly sweater, it looks good, and then it becomes a good looking sweater.
Okay.
What I'm fucking talking about. All right. Well, that's been the podcast. Sarah, anything you want to plug?
Chapstick?
Yes. Everybody use their chapstick.
We're not talking about that.
Everybody
story.
use their
We were going to talk about her
chapstick.
computer getting fucked up on New Year's Eve, but you don't.
I think karma will come to that person.
Yes. Do you have a New Year's resolution though? Speaking of New Year's.
You know, I've been asking audiences that, and I don't even think I have one. I want to I'm focusing. This was the same, but it was the same as
It's more goals. I have goals. I don't have like resolutions.
Yeah,
I don't need to give up anything.
Last year, I just wanted. I'm focusing on me. I do my best stuff when I'm just.
2019 is gonna be your year, huh?
Focusing on me.
I want to.
Yes.
I guess I want to exercise more, eat healthier, which I'm doing pretty good so far, actually.
Good.
And stuff like that. I had a real healthy vegan dinner, so stuff like that. I think I'm going for. Also, I'm gonna not give a fuck about internet stuff that gets me upset.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna let that stuff bother me.
That's what's up.
Because I'm getting upset about other people getting upset, which is just stupid.
Yeah, but then you don't get any new material.
No, I don't talk about that too much. A lot of this stuff though. I like to go more story oriented shit. Right. All right. Well, that's been the podcast, everybody. Sarah, you could follow her on Instagram, especially. I think this girl kills it on Instagram. Every now and then you'll see one of those. What'd you guys call them before the podcast? Thought. What does that mean?
Thoughts.
Thought.
I mean
that
thirsty
over there. Yeah,
those pictures.
There.
That's what
I
that
do have
stands for,
some
that
nice
hoe over there.
boobs. Yeah, I was blessed. Yeah, but I'm also gonna be. Can I plug something?
No. Fucking chapstick nipples out of you?
No.
No.
I
All
have,
right. No.
I think
Plug
I have normal
something.
nipples.
Plug something.
I'm originally from St. Louis, but I think I've talked to you about this. I've never done any shows there because I started doing stand up after I moved.
Yeah.
I just got my first gig ever in St. Louis on Thursday at Southtown Pub, and then I'm going back later this year to headline at the Gaslight Theater. I don't know the date or anything like that, but when I do, I will post it. And
Hell yeah, I've got some St. Louis listeners. I like St. Louis.
Okay.
I do the
yeah,
funny
all
bone.
my high school friends.
I'm trying to get
and
back
stuff.
there.
I'm hopefully.
Maybe I'll see if I can get a feature for me. I'm trying to get back. To
Yeah,
the
that'd
funny
be
bone.
amazing. We could stay at my
St. Louis
parents'
funny bone.
house for free.
Well, they give me a hotel.
Oh, okay.
But you could stay at your
I'll go
parents'
fuck
house.
myself. Okay.
Yeah. Or I could come. I'll crash with your parents. They seem lovely.
Yeah.
I've seen your Instagram stories. They seem like cool
Yeah.
people.
My mom likes
You
you.
could meet
You guys went
Ann.
to Top Golf.
You can.
I would love to meet Ann. All right, everybody. That's been Kilgallon's Pub. Check out past episodes. Review us on iTunes. It does go a long way. Everyone listening live on Facebook, big thanks to you. I think I'm going to try live stream on YouTube next week. But again, this has been Kilgallon's Pub. Cheers.
You could meet